Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the team news for Man United against Brighton in the Carabao Cup 4th round. Second time we've been playing Brighton in, 4 days?
It's deja vu all over again.
It is exactly. The team news should be out, as let's go straight into it, might as well. Van der Beek starts for the Reds. Here's the team in full. We've got Henderson, Dalot, Bailly, Lindelof, Williams, McTominay, Fred, Mata, Van der Beek, Dan James, and Odion Igalo. We should have a graphic for you very soon. Should we go through that again, Jay? Because that's quite a remarkable team.
There was one name in there that stood out, but I'll let you carry on.
What, Dalot?
Yes.
I know. We've got Dean Henderson in net. Diogo Dalot, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof keeps his place, United's first choice centre-back, it seems, at this point. And we've got Brandon Williams at left-back. Then a midfield of Scott McTominay, Fred, Mata, Van der Beek, James and Igalo is up front as well. So it's very much a rotator side from the side we saw against Brighton at the weekend. What are your thoughts on that team? And what are your thoughts on the team at home as well? Let us know in the comments. What are you thinking?
I mean, yeah, there's some quality in there. I like Henderson. Bailly's arguably on his day one of our best defenders, if not the best defender, but just obviously has injury problems. But the real shot there, like you said, was Dalot. Everyone thought he was going. He's been the forgotten man under Ole, hasn't he? Hardly played last season. Hasn't featured at all this season. Last season we saw Timothy Fosu-Mensah sort of leapfrog him in the pecking order, and there's talk of him going out on loan to was it Lazio or Inter or somewhere? I can't remember. Anywhere.
Any Italian side.
Any Italian side were in for him. So the team start tonight is a little bit of a surprise, but I think he can do a job against what I'm presuming is Brighton's second string team.
Quite a remarkable team, really, isn't it? Because, like I said, Dalot, how has that happened? It literally looked like he was on his way out completely. As the team is up on the screen there for you to peruse at your whim. Bailly coming back, also weird.
Yeah,
it's not weird because I'm a little bit surprised he didn't play in the Premier League. Like, Ole talking him up like he's going to be playing, and then he didn't play him against Brighton,
Do you think he's almost got it the wrong way around a bit, Ole? Because he played him against Luton, didn't he, and he plays him now. You think he should have maybe played him against Palace or Brighton and Spurs or whatever? Well, you know what I mean? Like, played him in the Premier League rather than the Carabao Cup.
The thing I don't get with Bailly is Ole talks about him like he's going to be one of our first choice centre-backs. But let's not forget, he's been fit since, February. He was fit almost all of the time he came back. He played against Chelsea. He played some games when we came back from lockdown. It's not like he's been unfit recently. He's been fit for quite a while, and he's still not really playing him in the big matches. So it's a strange way that he talks about Bailly and then doesn't really play him. The subs, and let's get into the subs, which aren't listed on the screen. We've got Lee Grant, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Teden Mengi makes the subs bench, Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford. So no Bruno Fernandes. Is this the first time he hasn't been in the squad since he signed? I wouldn't be surprised.
I presume so, but
no Maguire either, which is very interesting. Very good point, Mr. Adam McCullough. It's the first time again that I think he has been available for selection, seemingly, and not selected by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Maybe thinks he need a break.
Well, I think both of those players you mentioned need a break. Bruno Fernandes, even this season, I know he sort of still gets involved and gets you assists and scores penalties and whatnot, but he still looks a little bit goose to me. Maguire's needed a rest as well, so I'm not surprised. And plus, if you look at that sort of back four, Dalot, Bailly, Lindelof and Williams, it's not bad.
No.
I don't think, we need Harry Maguire.
Well,
I think
finally,
that's fine.
Dalot, gets a chance to prove himself. Bailly gets a chance to prove himself. Victor Lindelof, I think he looked better against Brighton, but still wasn't great. It's another chance for him to prove himself. And Brandon Williams, who also didn't have the best of time after lockdown, it's another chance for him to prove himself. So it's very much a defence with a point to prove, isn't it? Dean Henderson included in that. Yeah,
I think everyone, like you say, they can either put themselves in the shop window for the last few days of the transfer window, or they can show there's something about him, because the performance against Brighton was pretty poor one weekend.
Oh, it was
bad.
Up
tonight, maybe he'll have a rethink.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at that bench as well, I know you're going to get into it in a minute, but there's options there, because the only thing that worries me slightly about the starting 11 is up front. Listen, I love Juan Mata, and I've said before I'll give Dan James the end of the season, but I don't know, man. Mata, Igalo and James, it's not like the most threatening attack.
Are you a little bit surprised that Paul Pogba's on the bench but Bruno isn't? Because it seems to me that Paul Pogba's just absolutely shattered to start the season. He's putting in those performances where you think, I can tell you're tired because you're taking the easy way out in possession too often. He's taking too long on the ball, or he's making those long passes that aren't really on, but if it comes off, it looks good. He doesn't have that sort of intensity and that kind of energy where he does the right thing time and time again. He looks like he's taking it a little bit easy, but I think that's probably a result of how tired he is. Are you surprised he's on the bench?
I'm a little bit. I think we all have agreed. You know, me and you've done a few watch-alongs now, and we've all said that Pogba's not looked himself. We know he was ill. So he does need a rest, and you think that now would be the ideal opportunity to give him a rest, because let's not kid ourselves. If we are chasing this game, there's every chance that Pogba's going to get brought on, along with Greenwood and Rashford. So, yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I think maybe Ollie's thinking, I can't not have both of them in the squad in terms of Fernandes and Pogba. That's too much of a risk. Yeah. So maybe he's just sort of done eeny, meeny, miny, moe and gone with Fernandes.
Give us your score predictions in the comments. Now you've seen the team, we've got a better sort of analysis, a better idea of exactly what this team's going to look like on the pitch. Let us know what you think the game's going to look like as well. Score prediction, Jay?
I'm going to go with... I'll go with 3-2 United.
Any reason you think we might beat Brighton 3-2? Has there been form of such a result in recent weeks?
There has. It's the Carabao Cup in it. You never know what can happen. And I think that, like you said, players with a point to prove. I know we're sort of slightly critical of our attacking lineup, but we can get goals from anywhere, can't we? So, and plus, if we are chasing the game, and you bring on the likes of Rashford and Greenwood and players like that and Pogba, then I think we can cause Brighton all sorts of problems. So. Yeah, we'll see anyway. It's not going to be easy.
I'm turning to my laptop like some sort of hacker on a film to find Brighton's team, but producer Cam, the wonderful producer Cam, is doing my job for me there. He's got Brighton's team here. We've got Steele, White, Dunk, McAllister, Gross, let's be honest, Johan Baksh, Bernardo, Byrne, Veltman, Gyökeres, and Malumbi.
Are you just making these names up?
I'm not making them up, but I am going fast and loose with how I pronounce them. So here's some score predictions then. Adam McCullough doesn't have coronavirus, by the way. I can see some of the comments. He's just off camera insulting my family members. So 2-1 Brighton, 3-0. Don't think the Brighton team is very strong. Aaron Quinn says, I kind of like it. 4-0. 2-1 or another scrappy 3-2. William 15818 agreeing with you there, Jay.
Yes.
Ross Murphy says 2-1 United. Oliver Edwards 17-0 United. 4-0, 3-2. No one is predicting a loss for United. Well, one lad did, but we'll ignore that one for the sake of that sentence I just said. Sushant Dar with a super chat, thank you very much. He said, what's wrong with OGS? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for those of you who don't know. I know you haven't been watching United long, so I'll tell you what that means.
No.
What about the front four? Left side has pace but no quality. Right side has quality but no pace. So much imbalance. What we need is a team that's slow and shit. At least it'll be balanced.
Bring everyone down pace, to the same level.
No quality, please.
That's what Van Gaal tried to do.
Yeah, it's very.
And that's what we should be doing now.
It's very difficult to have pace and quality.
It was tedious throughout the team.
When you've made 10 changes to a team. We've got a poll on our Twitter as well. Make sure you join in that. We'll be coming back to that on the watch along in a little bit. So vote on that. We are currently asking Dello starts, but for what reason? And it says the chance to prove himself, and then shop window racing away with 57.3% of the vote. But let us know what you think to that. Is it a chance, like we saw with Alexis Sanchez, I think a little bit before he left? We saw the same with Ashley Young, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's going, look at all these guys. These guys are worth 20 million quid, aren't they?
It could be that. It could even be a little bit, I don't know, maybe a sort of message to the board as well. Like, look, I'm playing players that I've not played for.
When you say
months.
Message to the board, do you mean the fans at home who are BORED, or do you mean the BOARD who are above him?
The B as in Monopoly board, that sort of board. Just saying, like, look, I'm playing players that I haven't played for months because I've not got a squad that's strong enough and has enough depth. So it could be any number of reasons. I don't know. I don't hate on Diogo Dalot. I don't think he's quite where we need him to be, and I won't sort of be that gutted if he leaves. But I don't hate on him, and I hope he has a good game.
Someone in the comments saying not much time for shop window, which is a good point. Romero is out of the door, surely, right?
Oh, he's not even on the... Well, Dean Henderson starts, and then was it Lee Grant on the bench? So I think if you're Romero, it's weird Romero, because he's good enough to start for most teams anyway. So yeah, I expect him to leave. I think that's been on the cards since Dean Henderson signed a new contract.
It's quite amazing, isn't it, how we've lamented, and we'll talk about this more on the watch along, I'm sure, but we've lamented the slow signing, if there is to be a signing of Jadon Sancho, and yet all these players who seem like they're well out the door have not been sold yet. Smalling, Dalot, Romero, Phil Jones, Pereira, Lingard, all of these players who you sort of think they'll be leaving. Well, there's 5 days left and they ain't gone yet. So
could be the maddest sort of
very
transfer
short
deadline
window.
day in history.
Like you said, this is like, do you know when Amazon do those like crash flash sales or whatever? This is a flash sale for Diogo Dalot. If there's any takers in the comments, watch the game, see how good he is. Send a £20 million bid to Manchester United, PO Box 141, 20 times Man United. Right, that's going to be all from us for the team news. We're going to be back for the watch along in so little time. We're going to be back, I think, at 7:15. Game kicks off at 7:45, so make sure you come back for the watch along. Jay's going to do his hair. He looks all right. He's plaited it nicely. We'll be back for that very shortly. Don't you worry about that. Like I said, get your score predictions in. We'll be back at 7:15. Not long at all. 20 minutes. Get a drink. Get a beer.
Get the brew. Get a kettle on. Or get a beer if you need something stronger.
Sorry, Jay. Get the kettle on for Jay's sake.
Kettle.